Normally KWEON sort of caps his runs out in the 32s or the 64, so he's had a phenomenal day. They've just been very athletic and very fast. I think Enrico will be too strong. Hasn't started so well, but I think he'll should have the quality to get through this one.
Yeah, well, like you say, 32s are sort of the normal placing that we see for this young Korean, but perhaps a sign of a 16 at the Moscow World Championships last year was a sign of things to come.
He's clearly confident too. Big flick to the hand, second touch. That's pretty high risk. You get that wrong into the guard, you tend to have a flash coming back at you very quickly. But yeah, committed very hard to that first touch. That's the second touch there. It's very interesting.
You did tend to see some flamboyancy from Koreans, but more so in the foil and sabre disciplines. Here in épée, it tends to be a little bit more reserved.
Well, I don't know. I think the girls are a little bit more straight edge. The boys have a lot of fun. They're a fun team. Their coach is a lovely guy as well. No, they're certainly an absolute pleasure to watch and to referee. Great to see them doing well. I think they'll be a force to reckon with both Rio, both individual and teams.
And of course, KWEON is going to be vying for a spot both in the Korean team, but then on top of that, can he do well enough in the remaining ranking events for their selection to make it as an individual?
You would have thought that, yeah, I mean, having picked up a minimum of a bronze medal today, that should put him right up there in the Korean ranking lists. And he's shown that he can actually knock off some very good fences.
Absolutely.
Which is really nice to see. Because Sergei beat it. He had in the 16, and then beat another Olympian who qualified today, Basel women in the last 8, wasn't that bad?
In the quarterfinals, yeah. And I mean, you could argue that Vivian was, the job was done today, but he did fight hard in that, and you've got to say, KWEON beat him.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Anyone that's ever met Basel know that he never gives up. Never gives up on anything. He's a fighter through and through. Yeah. So, what else? While we were too distracted there, I think there was a call for non-combativity.
There absolutely was.
Yeah. So that's no minute without a hit. No hit in a minute, and so the referee calls halt and moves them straight onto the next period.
Well, it's working out well for this young Korean. He's taking it to the world number 2, as he did to Vivian. And like you say, there was a period of non-combativity. So the referee took it into his own hands and said, you're not fighting enough, you're not scoring enough hits. We just rock straight into the second period. There will be no break. So that we won't see more than another minute of rest in this fight. And that's if the referee doesn't call non-combativity in this period. Likely, or will Garozzo press to close the gap?
I think they're both looking to score, but goodness me, I can see how he gets frustrated when he gets picked off with counterattacks of that quality.
Speed and accuracy, we're going to see a replay here. I mean, just phenomenal. How did he see it for a start and then land it with such a small amount of target to hit?
Enrico Garozzo hasn't done a lot wrong there. It's a short lunge to the immediate target. You'd think that's a pretty low percentage risk shot. And he's just been absolutely picked off with a counterattack. That's pretty tough stuff. Pretty demoralising.
Well, this isn't clearly. There is a team element to this sport, but we're watching it in its individual form. And as an individual sport, and I know with the depth and quality in men's épée in particular, if you're on form, if you're seeing things in this sport, you can really take anyone, can't you?
Absolutely right. And you just sort of hope that when it is your day and when you can hit anything, and you could hit a mosquito at 20 paces. You just want that to be at a big competition. You want that to be at the Grand Prix. You want it to be at the World Championships. You want it to be Olympic Games, if it's just going to be your day.
And you want it to last for the day, right?
Oh, absolutely right.
I mean, there's no point in lasting for the first round, and then you come back for the preliminaries, and it's gone, and you couldn't hit a mosquito if it was lying dead on the table next to you.
Yeah, I think we've seen there, though, that this is not going to be, even if you're having a great day, going up against Enrico. That large touch there, you make any mistakes, you go to the deep target without the blade and he's already moving backwards. It's a very simple parry riposte to the forward target. He's just going to beat you. So you're just going to have to hold his head. He's not a guy that's used to being out on the podium under the lights. I think he's just going to have to maintain that composure and control. He started well, so he's given himself every opportunity to make the final.
Garozzo not out of it though, only 1 point behind, and now he has levelled up.
As you see, he missed the counter-attack, and he did have that chance. Counter-attack just falls up short, and then there's an instant remise. He's right on you, doesn't let you escape. And that's the problem. You make a mistake, you get punished.
Well, it's kind of forced Garozzo into action here, and it is the Italian, world number 2, takes the lead. We see a replay here of the flash attack, and the hit landed by the fencer closest to us. A flash is a French for arrow. That's because you launch yourself with your sword right in front of you. You come off both feet and look a little bit like an arrow.
Right. That's a perfect example of the Garozzo's athleticism. Big step in by KWEON, and instant flash attack into it that takes him into the lead for the first time.
Well, for me, KWEON has to reset, and he'll be looking to get to this minute break in just over 30 seconds and have a chat with his coach. He needs to go back to maybe showing a bit more of that flamboyancy we saw earlier on.
Yeah, it's almost, once he sort of got 2 or 3 points up, he reverted to slightly more conventional technique, and again, just gets punished for missing.
Beautiful distance control from the Italian, stepping out of distance. We'll see here on the replay, just moves out the way, just enough of his body and the added protection of a block with his sword.
He's making the distance though. I think he's just, some of those you'd actually generally put down as misses. He's just not getting that right angulation, and as a result, the counter action just hits you, which is a shame because we saw him start so well. Be interesting though, because they didn't get a chance to talk to their coaches because of the non-combativity. So I think this probably breaks comes at a good time for the Korean fencer.
Well, it looked almost that the clock just ticked out as Garozzo may have landed a hit to the foot there as well. But as you say, this break is most welcome for this young man here. He's Youngjun KWEON of Korea, chatting with his coach there, taking on some fluid. Surely the result of his career so far. Down at the other end is the Italian coach with Enrico Garozzo, going through a very clear instruction by the looks of things.
Yeah, the Italian's got some good advisors there. It's Enrico Di Chiolo, one of the foremost authorities on world fencing, probably one of the best people in the world to have in your corner.
And here we see some of the great shots in slow motion. 4-1 up. The Korean was in a commanding position, but that was the start of the comeback from Garozzo. Well, just like that, that minute break is over, and we're into the third period. We've had one period of non-combativity called, so already we're in the third period. Second semi-final, men's Épée Budapest Grand Prix semi-final, and win and you're fighting for gold, lose and you'll have to settle for the bronze medal.
First cut is critical here. You got to start this final period well.
Any cards there, or was that completely accidental?
Yeah, I mean, the card accidental doesn't really affect whether it's going to be a card or not. It's interesting that, I mean, we've seen a few of those today for avoiding the touch. I think actually it did stop It did stop that KOR, the body contact there, did stop Garozzo's ability to riposte. I think the card could have been in order there. Referee didn't issue the card. I'd like another look at that. It's certainly within the realms of possibility for a yellow card, certainly based on the interpretations we've seen today. See, that's better. Earlier in the match, KWEON would be taking steps back, trying to find the timing, but he actually just holds his line. Very strong.
Does Garozzo miss there? He does.
He does, absolutely. Just goes straight past the arm, goes to the forward target. First time he's missed today. He's generally been very good, and he's been confident enough to go to the side of the forearm. Missed and gone straight past him. KWEON's right there. Maybe he expected KWEON to take a step back. Isn't that? Oh, does he hit the foot or does he hit the piece? I think he's hit the piece. That's very honest.
Well,
are you going to check it?
Referee is going to go and check this, and I think we're probably going to get a chance to see a replay of that. We see the fences walking up and down, and
the reaction from the athletes was that it was not. Yeah, that's not on the foot. There was no celebration. They didn't even go back. That's very, very clearly no touch.
Is the referee in that instance, even though both the fences were in agreement, is he compelled to check the video?
Look, we've got this wonderful technology. You might as well use it. I think it's one of these ones where it's because he's flicked the piece so hard. It's not that the piece isn't working. It's more that because it's bounced up and you've hit it so hard, there's actually still contact on the way up.
Right.
So the light still comes on.
So the point's been depressed long enough for the hit to come up.
Yeah, exactly.
But for what reason now would we have what looks like some kind of technical analysis of the situation? Is this not...
I think the referee wants to be confident that the piece is actually earthed. Sometimes with these aluminium pieces that sort of fit together like wedges, if you hit it hard enough, it can actually break that connection.
Oh,
I think
okay. So it's worth checking.
Yes and no. I mean, look, we've got all this technology. We've got 2 assistant referees. I don't think for me, it's a one-off that we can probably move on pretty quickly, so long as it's not a regular occurrence. And I think they're doing that now. Maybe just wanted to check with the technical officials that there were no problems with the wires. But at least the right decision was made fairly quickly, so it's not the end of the world.
Well, we're back underway. What potentially could have been a big technical issue has transpired to be nothing more than a quick check, and we're back to the action. Garozzo leading 8-7. Final period of the second semi-final here at the West End Epée Grand Prix in Budapest. This time that looked to me like KWEON actually tried to smash his opponent's blade out of the way. Yeah, you see the beat of the blade, but Garozzo's so strong, he didn't move at all.
Absolutely. I think the beating was in the wrong place as well, way too close to the guard. And that just didn't allow him to get that impulse and that acceleration. And also gave Garozzo a pretty good idea of where the blade was, so he could finish the counter-attack with opposition.
So the idea of the beat is to knock your opponent's point out of line long enough for you to land a hit, and because it was too far down the sword, it just didn't knock the point at all.
Right. Yeah. So you only need to be out by fractions of a second, so that's what that tap, that beat on the blade will do.
Well, what looked to be a dummy attack on a first sortie there from the Korean was rapidly followed up by the real attack and landed with great accuracy. Here we have another replay of that one. And 2 attempted parries from Garozzo were not enough.
Yeah, that's the perfect response to Enrico's tactic. It's absolutely caught out there with footwork and timing to restore the gap to where it was.
Still too tight to call though, minute and 16 seconds left. And KWEON has taken out some big names so far in the tournament. Garozzo's not clear just yet, although he is starting to look stronger and stronger and stronger as the fight goes on.
Yeah, he's really disappointed for not getting a light up there. I think he's just been timed out. Garozzo's confident enough, hits him on the upper arm. KWEON, but hang on, so the epée didn't work, so we're going to annul that hit. I thought he just timed out because he went for the body and Garozzo hit him on the arm, but looks like it was a technical issue. Let's have a look now. Yeah, he actually did hit. Look, if you slow it right down, he actually did hit him first with no light.
Well, good call there. I mean, often you see fencers go to the referee in épée and wave their épée at the referee to test it, but that's really most of the time more in hope than guaranteed judgment that they definitely didn't score.
Yeah, he wasn't too happy about it. And looking at that slow motion replay, you can see why. He certainly hit first. Just had a technical problem with his weapon.
Well, weapon surrendered. He has a new one from the bag, and
most importantly, they cancel that touch, so the score deficit remains the same.
yeah, still no need to rush. You see the Korean not pressing too hard. He's still trying to fashion a hit, build the hit. No need any craziness just yet. Oh, that's very nice, but did it hit on the piste, off the piste, or on the foot?
I don't think that hit the foot. I think that's off the piste. Didn't look right in real time. Let's have a look.
No, it's a piste again.
Not even close. Not even close.
Well, well, well. What are they going to do now? We had a check of the piste beforehand. They came out, the technicians, had a look at it. Is it just another case of another one-off? It just happens to be the second one-off in this fight, or will the technicians be called back out?
I think they're just going to get on with it. It's a shame, though, that brings on a light, because it does, and Enrico Garozzo's clearly missed there. Would have been an opportunity for KWEON to riposte. Yeah, it's not the first technical issue we've had, and maybe associated with the wireless systems there either. It's not foolproof.
Well, with 25 seconds left on the clock, a double doesn't mean too much at the moment, although it does edge Garozzo within 4 of the magic score of 15, the winning score of 15. On getting in close, trying to find something, but had to get out of the way pretty rapidly there from Garozzo. Oh, he does do the job. A hard work the Korean did, blocked out with circular seats, but then wasn't able to land.
Yeah, just missed that riposte. Did all the work, drew the counter attack. Big circle 6 parry, but just couldn't get that riposte on.
Well, now we see in the pressing from the Korean, a hit landing there for Garozzo, and now we have a video appeal.
I think it's in vain. They're not past each other. Perfectly entitled to hit. That's fine. I think that, I can't speak for my colleagues down there, but I think that's going to be awarded as a touch. They've got to be completely past each other. You can see on that slow-mo replay, they're not past each other.
No, the only other thing that you could think of is that they're complaining about Garozzo using his back arm, but his back arm is well out of the way.
No, he's referee is going to award that touch. No, he's a very fair fencer. Gets his back arm completely out of the way. That's exactly how you should be doing it.
Absolutely, and you could see that very clearly. So now Garozzo lands on the counter as the Korean's forced to come out of the blocks hard and fast. And Garozzo is 1 point away from making it to the gold medal match, where he'll face Gautier Grumier. And that is it. KWEON concedes. So it is Garozzo, the world number 2, who will go up against the world number 1, Gautier Grumier. Don't go too far. We have a gold medal match in the women's épée coming up right away. Then we'll